Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of the Reason Through podcast. It's been a while, and I hope to get back to uploading more regularly. As a way of creating new content, I will be uploading introductory audio videos. The first series is going to be on ethics. We will be going over how various philosophers have answered the questions of why be moral, are there moral facts, is morality relative? So in this episode, we will be going over metaethics. So let's begin. Now, ethics, in general, is a branch of philosophy that deals with right and wrong, good and bad, and some type of moral knowledge, contrasted with, say, epistemology that deals with understanding the relationship between justification, belief, and knowledge. In general, from what I have found, is that most people, when engaging in ethics, are endorsing some sort of moral philosophy. For example, have you ever had a moral disagreement with a person, and the person responds with, well, that's just your opinion? Now, at first glance, this seems like this person may be endorsing some sort of subjective moral framework, but that needs to be discussed with said person to find out their view. So keep that in mind. Don't assume, ask questions to gain clarity. Now, metaethics is not about assessing what one should do in a particular situation. For example, metaethics is not going to inform you on whether you should lie to Nazis or not, or whether it's ever permissible to lie. Metaethics is concerned with the following. 1. The semantic function of moral discourse, meaning when one makes a moral statement, are they expressing a fact or an emotion? Number 2, are there moral properties? For example, do they exist? And if they do exist, what are they like? Number 3, can we have moral knowledge? How do we know our moral judgment is true or false? If it is, in fact, true or false. Number 4, moral psychology. How does our motivation relate to moral action? And number 5, can moral judgments be right or wrong? Is there any truth behind the matter? These are the questions metaethics seeks to answer. These questions are not exhaustive, but are meant to give an understanding of the difference between this discipline and others. To further illustrate, here are some examples of metaethical theories: moral realism, non-cognitivism, error theory, and moral anti-realism. In preceding episodes, I will go over these theories in more detail, as this is just a preliminary sketch of the philosophical terrain. To start, there are typically two camps of moral judgment that informs a metaethical theory. They are cognitivism on one side and non-cognitivism on the other. Cognitivists think when one makes a moral judgment, they are expressing a belief. Now, this part is crucial. If the cognitivists are right, say when the utterance abortion is wrong or abortion is permissible, I am uttering a belief. Now, if I'm uttering a belief, then this can be true or false. This is typically labeled truth-apt. Beliefs fall under this category of being true or false. In contrast, the non-cognitivist will deny or not accept one is expressing a belief. Instead, when one is expressing a moral utterance, they are expressing an emotion or a desire, and what they'll say is desire and emotion are not truth-apt. Therefore, moral judgments cannot be true or false. This might be a little tricky, so I will try to be clear. It may be true that one can have a desire, such as I have the desire to learn moral philosophy. However, it does not follow that the desire itself can be true or false. As stated earlier, the cognitivist and the non-cognitivist will inform which metaethical theory one subscribes to. Each theory has its strengths and its weaknesses. I hope this overview has helped. When you find yourself engaged in moral discourse, remember to ask questions, gain clarity on what the person is trying to convey, whether or not they've actually studied anything about ethics. In the next episode in this series, we will be looking at G.E. Moore's attack on ethical naturalism. In short, ethical naturalism is a cognitivist view that claims moral facts exist and moral properties are reducible to physical facts and thus under the umbrella to be discovered by the empirical sciences. This concludes this episode. I will leave a transcript of what I've said in this episode. See you next time.